Okay, I think we're here. Well, and we'll redo the intro here, Chebs. We'll redo the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the weekend that many have been waiting for. We've got the highest draft tier of Master and the highest tier overall with Premier, which starts today. And my name is Sir Pegasus. I'm joined here with the wonderful Big Chebs for our first ever cast together. And Chebs, a Premier start. Oh, well, what a stream we got ahead of us.
Mate, I'm so excited for this series. Obviously, two big teams have finished in those beautiful play-in spots, made it this far, but these are the games that make it or break it. The end of your season could be here, and it's winner takes all in these play-in series.
And we've got ourselves Leviathans versus Council of Sir. Council of Sir, a team here rewarded actually from their win in Master last season, I believe. I know Monkey Mode and Peachy Boy were two players that got promoted for that reason, and many people didn't expect them to get this far, to make it into 5th place of a Premier Conference and into play-in. So any wins that they can get now will be absolutely huge. They've already surpassed their expectations. How far can they take it?
Yeah, and just looking at the stats, you can see why they've made it this far. Looking across to the other conference, Leviathans being that 6th place spot compared to Council of Sir's 5th, and Council of Sir have scored more and conceded less. So they're better in both categories. Usually you only see one, but they're better in both categories. So definitely, my opinion, if they play like they have done in league play, Council of Sir look like the stronger team stats-wise. But it's play-ins, anything that can happen.
Yeah, and there's also that bit of cross-conference conflict, which everyone absolutely loves for the play-ins and playoffs. This will be the first sign of it, of course, being that play-in round 1. Let's have a look at some of the players here. We've got Uncle Bill, Chippy, and Stealth, captained by Sky High on one team, and on the other we've got Panda, Monkey Mode, Beastie, and Peachy Boy. I believe it will be Beastie who will be playing out of those two with the 8 games. And I've heard some interesting news here from producer Morph today that Billy is a very high-level coach, previously coaching Top Blokes, Semper, and Oxygen. So no matter the situation, that's the man you want to bring the team back up, get them back into the game, get them focused, and try and complete the series. Of course, this is a best-of-5 format.
Yeah, definitely. There's always something you want to look for on a team, is someone that can bring those mentals back up, and he'll have experience in kind of bringing his team back together mid-series. But then we've got to look across onto the other side, and you've got two players that have played together for, I think this is their 3rd, maybe 4th season now played together. But you kind of got your thing right. It's I believe we have no Peachy Boy tonight, so it's Beastie, Panda, and Monkey Mode. So it's gonna be a fun roster, I think. Bit of a change up.
Yeah, that will certainly be interesting, and I'm wondering here, Chebs, will that affect your predictions? Let's jump right into it. It's the first stream of the day, first series of the day. What are you going for?
Usually I'd go with the team that I know has Premier and higher level experience. But I believe in the boys. They've come up from Master. They've got promoted. They finished in a better seed. They've got better stats. I'm going to go. I think this is going to go the distance. I think it's going to be a close series. I'm going to go 3-2 to Councillor Sir.
Oh, it's so hard to pick between these two teams because my heart really wants to go for Council of Sir, the promoted Master team essentially, but I think I'm going to go for my brain this time. I'm going to go for Leviathans. I'm also going to go for Game 5, but 3-2 for the other side. I'm so excited for this matchup.
Going to be an exciting one, but the players are in the lobby. I think we can get things going for Game 1. Both teams are closely matched on paper, and I think it's definitely going to be one. Oh, we're still missing Leviathans. I apologise. We're going to have to wait a bit longer, but and as I start speaking, they put the lobby. Perfect timing, and I think we can get ourselves towards Game 1. We both think this is going to go the distance. We think it's going to be a close game, and only time will tell what is going to end up from the series.
Well, this is the best kind of cast a curse I think we're going to see all day here. Some players weren't quite in the lobby yet, but now they're here once Chebs has brought it up and spoken them into existence. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for the Premier play-ins, the highest tier. Let's get the 6 players in the lobby, and Chebs, let's go on our first ever cast together. Leviathans versus Council of Sir.
Yeah, getting us underway here in game 1, and both teams, I think we're waiting on someone. There we go. Everyone in the lobby ready to get going. And it's gonna be such a fun series. 2 pretty closely matched teams, and I think it's really on which team is able to come out fighting. I think in this series, I assume both teams are very warm. I know there was also rendezvous today as they get a pretty early shot off today as they try and bring it forward. Uncle Bill now doesn't get the greatest of touches. BC puts it across into the middle. Chip doesn't manage to get the greatest saves as BC puts another shot. Is cleared away and a bit of early pressure from Council.
Yeah, definitely. And Chip, of course, getting that backflip very early in the game, and you just think Council of Sir were going to score. It's happened in the end. The recovery was good from Chip early, but here, the backboard clearance was just a straight pass to Monkey Mode, was faster than Himothy, was quicker to the ball, quicker so far in this game. Leviathans really haven't had much of the ball.
No, but as the series goes on, I'm sure we'll see some more pressure come out as they try and feel these teams out. Obviously, being from opposite conferences, this is something we always mention, especially in play-ins. These guys from opposite conferences, they've never played against each other unless they have had scrims. So it's going to be very much time to feel each other out, learn how the other team plays, and adapt to those positions.
But it's just been Council of Sir again on the ball, Monkey Mode. Trying to look for the bump, there was no one there, and it's Timothy now trying to play for the 50, but Panda getting past. The ball's in the middle now. Uncle Billy gets the ball past him, and just out of nowhere, the ball ends up going in. Council of Sir on the attack for so long. Perhaps an overcommit here. Monkey Mode just caught a bit high, unable to get the touch, and Billy is the one credited with the equaliser.
Yeah, the equaliser goes in against the run of play, but I'm sure that Leviathans will not be too worried about that now as Panda trying to take themselves back into the lead as Billy does manage to get it away. Now Monkey Mode goes for the shot. Beautiful placement. Plays it between both of them. Takes the lead back again. And Uncle Bill not able to get the greatest of clearances off the backboard. And that's a great pass from Beastie to Monkey Mode, who slots the needle through the crossbar and the defending player and takes the lead.
And these are the 2 players that we expected to be more of the regulars, the ones we thought were guaranteed to be in this roster today. It's a great start for them. A little link up for Monkey Mode. Doesn't matter what tier he's in, he will always perform. This is the highest level of competition, and he's got himself a hat-trick within a minute and a half. Just incredible.
Beautiful placement and flip reset from Monkey Mode. Gets that 3rd goal, and really solid start here, especially from Monkey Mode. But I think Council of Sir are playing really well around him as now Leviathan's looking for that equaliser as Chip tries to bring it forward. Good bump as Stealth tries to go for the shot and gets the bump again. That's pretty open net for Bill, who puts it away. They reduce the deficit by 1, and this is looking like a goal fest straight away.
And this was a well-worked offense. Chip going up for the bump, cleared open some space for Himothy to just try and get it on net. Ends up coming off that post, and luckily there was someone there to finish it. Uncle Billy getting that 2nd goal. We're getting more close of a game. They're now back in between 1, but we saw how quickly Council of Sir responded before. Is it going to happen again? Beastie gets the read off the clearance, completely dunks the Leviathan defender, and as soon as Leviathan score, Council of Sir just quickly respond.
Beautiful control again from Council of Sir, this time with Beastie getting that dunk into the goal, and they take their 2-goal lead back and definitely look stronger, but that defense is still looking a little bit ropey as we now see Leviathans trying to get back, and a big whiff from Beastie on the back line. I think definitely in a bit of an odd position. I think left sideways and couldn't really get back into the play. Yeah, just a bit out of position in the end, and that deficit goes back just to 1, and they've got to really tighten that defense up if they want to kind of run away with this series.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy it whilst you've seen it. We've got a whiff in Premier. You're not going to see that too often, I believe, this weekend with the Master and the Premier players coming out to play now. But Leviathans, once again, forcing their defense, and a Council of Serre attacker getting another bounce on the back wall. And the counter chance there for Leviathans is quickly intercepted by Panda, who's coming to step into there despite expectations. Chip wants the 50, well challenged here by Panda. Beastie at the front post, carries on challenging, gets a few wall dashes just to give himself that extra bit of speed here. And it's back and forth along that same wall, it feels like. Who's gonna break that finally? It's a ball into the middle. Timothy manages to make work on that backboard, sets up Billy perfectly, and that is great quick thinking. That is quick work of the Council of Serre defense, and now we're back to an equal game.
Beautiful equalizer. They've had some very, very well worked goals, Leviathan. I think that's the second or third one we've seen where they've had some nice little passing plays and eventually get the ball into the net. As now the game tied up 4-4. I think this is definitely the battle of two sides. You've got one team with lots of passing plays and some nice little worked goals, and then the solo play goals that we've seen from Council of Serre, and it's really which team is able to capitalise the most. As maybe a goal almost in Beastie's favour as Panda gets it under Chip as Billy tries to bring it forward. A bit of miscommunication as Monkey Mode definitely capitalises on it. Does manage to get the double across the middle. Beastie's there to meet it. They take the lead yet again, 5-4. And Beastie definitely coming in clutch. Great pass from Monkey Mode to be able to read that to double it middle. Completely catch Stealth off guard as Beastie puts it away and they take the lead.
I think he even got a little bit of a bump afterwards, so not only did they get the misdirection, just completely threw them away from the ball, leaving that open net, and Council of Serre certainly looking very strong right now in what has been a statement season for them. Well, they're trying to make this a statement Plains playoffs. They've only got one life to do it. Of course, we are in play-ins right now. This is the lower bracket between Leviathans and Council of Serre. Both teams playing for the right to face Hosky and Monkey Mode. He looks like he's already ready. He's not scared. He wants to make those playoffs. Well, he's got Hosky waiting afterwards. Leviathans to beat first. This is only game 1 and he scored 4.
Yeah, 4 goals in this first game for Monkey Mode. Definitely turning up the pressure as we get here into play-ins, as Monkey Mode now again on the ball. Nice little pass down to Beastie. He plays it across to Panda, and they've seen the passing plays that have been pulled out by Leviathans and almost get one away, but now a bit of an overcommit from Council of Serre. Good flip reset from Stealth. He tries to keep it in the middle. Manages, I think, to get a bump on that back line, and Bill puts it away. Brings it back in 1, and 11 goals only 4 minutes into the game. This is the goal fest I wasn't expecting in Premier, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's not something you see too often, and I'm curious if that will continue. Billy scoring 5 goals, for Leviathans having 5 overall. They've all come from him. If we thought Monkey Mode was carrying the offense for his team, Billy clearly doing it on the other. And speaking of offense, Council of Serre here, and Panda finally getting in on the action. That's his first goal for Council of Serre in this series so far. Every single player now getting involved. 7-5, and who's to say it's over?
Yeah, again, a lovely worked goal from Council of Serre, as we've seen so many this series and game, I guess, as Monkey Mode tries to put it back into the middle, and Stealth is able to clear that one away. Beastie, good read to pinch it back middle with some all dashes to try and catch up, as Bill now is able to take back possession. Monkey Mode tries to cut it out, gets the flip reset to get past Stealth, as Chip now is reasonably unchallenged, but does get demoed by Panda, who now leaves it completely for Beastie, who goes up, is able to get good control. Flip reset, tries to get the second, kind of fakes it out, and Bill is able to save it. Now Panda coming back in, and a great from Bill to keep that one out. And Council of Serre still knocking for that 8th, even with only 14 seconds to go. I think although you could never count it out, I think they might have this game one in the bag, as Stealth now puts it across middle. It goes to Chip. There's still 5 seconds. And have I cursed it? There's 5 seconds on the clock. There's still 1 goal between them. But Leviathans bring it back to 1, and we've seen so many times this game that Leviathans have been able to pull back from being 1, maybe 2 goals down. And with 5 seconds to go, they've really got to prove that they want it, as Councillor Sir do reasonably win the kickoff, but Stealth does manage to get a touch on the ball. Chip's now up as well. Gets a decent touch, but I think that hits the floor. Councillor Sir take game 1, and what a way to start Premier play-ins.
Well, that was certainly unusual, wasn't it, Chevs? 11 goals. 11? Wow, I'm a mathematician, by the way. 13 goals in the first game. 7 of which from Council of Sir. 6 coming from Leviathans. It's as close as it could get in such a high-scoring affair. Leviathans in the opposing half, in the final seconds as well, trying to get some last-minute drama and take it into overtime. I just don't see it continuing like this. I want to say that this one was a one-off. Typically, in Premier, the defense is, you know, one of the biggest parts of it. And I think we did actually see quite a lot there from Billy. Let me check. Yeah, 8 saves to his name and 3 shared across his teammates. It's just a very strange one to watch. Council of Sir also overall only having 1 save. The defense is certainly needing to pick up. We both know that they can score goals. It's just about keeping it out of your own net now.
Yeah, Billy putting in an absolute shift that game. 1,300 points, and that's rounding down. So that's a lot of points in Billy's favour, and I think he's going to be wanting his teammates to step up ever so slightly, as they ended up losing that game, but only by 1, and it really, I think, could have gone either way. I don't know what's taken so long for players to join, but we're underway into game 2 as Stealth and Panda get us underway. As maybe now, as this game has gone on, we might see the goals start to slow down as the teams are starting to feel each other out. But Stealth is trying to keep that one straight away towards Councillor Sir's net as a good demo in from Chip. But the possession goes in the favour of Councillor Sir anyway. Panda puts it across into the middle and Chip's there to meet it. Does manage to, I think, get a flip reset, but doesn't get the greatest of clearances. Beastie in that corner. Tries to put it back across as Bill now is able to get it around Monkey Mode and keeps possession as Stealth puts it up on the wall. As it comes across to Beastie, I thought Chip would challenge, but no. As Chip plays it towards the line, and a bit more of a midfield game as we tick past the 40-second mark, and no goals yet as Bill puts one near target. Good save from Panda. It stays 0-0.
Leviathan's able to sneak through 2 shots at the moment. They haven't felt too dangerous, especially with that Council of Sir defense behind it. Both teams, I think it's exactly what you said, have felt each other out a bit now. I think maybe they're starting to neutralize, and this is a sign of things to come. Monkey Mode delays that ball, leaves it to Beastie. It's a great save from Billy. He was good defensively in the last game. Himothy has to get the follow-up as well. Monkey Mode back on the ball. Wants to get that read on the follow-up. 30 boost on the tank. Beastie going again. Bill up high. Challenged by Panda. Gets past. Chips lurking. Wanted to get the bump on Monkey Mode. Monkey Mode dodges it and gets the save. Makes good work of the boost that he had. And it's Billy again. I think this is going to be your main dangerous player on Leviathans. He's been incredible so far. He's been, I mean, a winning player on a losing team, but it's only been 1 game so far. Panda now, there's an option in the midfield, doesn't go for it, gets the demo first. And if he got a little bit more power on that infielder, we could have seen another shot on net. Monkey Mode hit a clip in the first game with a flip reset, wants the corner read now. Chip wants to show him how it's done, doesn't get the follow. But finally, we've got our first goal of the game. It's Himothy, found in field after a corner hit from Chip. Beastie, not the best touch. Panda unable to reach it. There we go, this game begins.
Yeah, this is what happens here in Premier. You make 1 mistake and you are punished for it. As we see Beastie not able to read that one on the corner.
Ooh.
It's put very quickly away by Leviathans, who are now starting to push forward for a second. But Monkey Mode does well to get that one away. As Bill trying to read it on that backboard. Does get a nice little pop away. Good bump from Chip to be able to get that one away as Panda is able to meet it. Chip again, puts it back into that corner, tries to get it middle. Doesn't manage to get the final touch as Stealth brings it forward. Isn't able to get too much. Does get a good little dunk as Beastie's a bit awkward on that front post. All 3 defenders up, and they do manage to get it away. Monkey Mode with a good double tap, and yeah, Councillor Sir looking slightly on edge in this second game.
Yeah, the triple commit Certainly not a good sign here. They managed to make good work of it to not concede, but I'm sure it was a bit of a confidence booster for the Leviathan side to see that. Council tried to make another offensive play there, shut down so fast from Leviathans, who just went a lot stronger than they did in the previous game. That being said, Beastie on the ball now. Once again, a double touch. Billy's waiting low. Gets the ball off the backboard. There's the double commit. That's looking dangerous. It's a great infield pass. Panda was ready. And it's just like you said before, Chebs. Make one mistake and the Premier players, they'll take advantage of it. Monkey Mode, seeing Billy as the only player ahead of him, knows there's been a double commit on the net, so no one will be behind him. So if you can sneak it past, should be open, should be back to an equal game. 2 minutes left, much more close than it was in game one, and overall a lot stronger from both teams.
Yeah, a bit more defense is what we like to see, as the game is sitting a lot more midfield based, as Beastie plays it down the line in that corner, is kind of on his own, but does manage to get it across to the middle. Good little touch from Stealth to keep it out of the net, as plays it forward yet again. Monkey Mode up very quickly, is trying to get that double, tries to dunk on Billy, does manage to get there, but Billy stays strong as Panda now puts it middle, no one there to meet it. And Leviathans finally clear that one away as Beastie tries to put it down in the corner. No one from his team there to meet it, as Chip now in that corner, as Monkey Mode is able to finally get it away again. As yeah, it's very much a bit more of a ping-pongy game. It's going back and forth, but we haven't seen too many shots since those goals. And Leviathans now trying to bring it forward, but no boost means no goal, and yeah, stays equal.
We've got potential to see our first overtime, unless the Council of Sir team have anything to say about it. Once again, Monkey Mode in the midfield here, keeping the ball forward. And it's Billy trying to transition out of defense with little to no boost. Beastie gets the challenge, wants to follow up as well. Himothy hitting it out, that's a bit dangerous. We're in the 6-yard box. Some work has to be done here from Leviathan to get it out. Chip looking to provide. Panda trying to eat that up, get the ball to Monkey Mode. He's made himself an option again on the infield. Billy, though, remains patient. Chip was ready for the follow-up. Doesn't actually get the touch. It's a bit chaotic in the box here. And Beastie getting the ball now. He keeps on staying in this Leviathan's bit. But, oh, that's good defense. They managed to keep it out of their goal. And they've got 3 seconds left until an overtime. Unless Council of Sir can make something happen. Chebs, it's our first overtime. And I don't know who I favour.
One of those shots should have gone in for Council of Sir, and if they go on to lose game 2, they're going to be kicking themselves, as they're now still trying to mount an attack, as it ends up popping middle. Panda not able to get the greatest of touches as it heads towards his own net, as Monkey Mode now in that corner tries to play it across to Beast. He gets a good little flick, but both players from the right quite quickly, not able to do the best, as a bit of a double commit, but Bill is able to clear up, gets a good little 50 into that corner as Monkey Mode now down the line does manage to get a touch, but isn't able to get it past Stealth, as Panda now is able to get a touch, and very much a bit of a back and forth, pinging it around both sides of the goal, as Beastie finally might get the first bit of dangerous attack. It goes middle, but cleared away.
And it's back to Himothy into the midfield for Monkey Mode here. Good 50 with Chip. Ball finds its way forward. Panda has to keep the ball close here. If you let it stray too far, Leviathans will take control. And that's a decent 50 to get out of it. Once again, Monkey Mode trying to make that push, trying to make that advance with the impact player in the previous game. They need him just one more time, one more shine of brilliance, and they put themselves onto match point. Billy here, maybe going for that follow-up bump. That ball goes high, led to the follow, and oh, it hits the crossbar. Game not over yet. Beastie keeping possession. They've got to remain calm here, Council of Sir. They're still in the defense. They're still in overtime. There are no second chances. Monkey Mode back on the ball. Huge demo here, and a shot from Panda. Saved from Billy. That was our closest attempt so far.
Really, really close from Council of Sir, as they build so much pressure, but it is finally kept away, as they're now trying to get it back into that half, as Billy has it on that backboard, is able to come off the ceiling. Tries to go for a pinch, but Stealth takes it a little bit early now, as Beastie gets a 50 with Chip in the middle. Stealth isn't able to get a touch, as Panda puts it onto that ball. Gets bumped for his trouble, as he tries to bump Himothy, who's up, gets the flip reset, isn't able to get anything from it, and it stays very much back and forth. Over 2 minutes now into this overtime. We've seen a couple opportunities, but nothing so ridiculously dangerous that warrants a goal, as they're trying to get something going. Leviathan's good 50 against Monkey Mode. Tries to put it middle, but Beastie is there. He tries to bring it forward. Gets it almost past Chip. Chip does well to touch it, I think with no boost, as Monkey Mode now on that wall. Tries to go past Bill. Bill pre-jumps, so Monkey Mode flicks it round him. Leaves it for Beastie, who called him off, but Chip was able to read it. It stays level. We're still in this overtime, and it's getting ever so tense.
Yeah, we're just about to hit that 3-minute mark now. It's been... I mean, I keep on saying it, but it's just insane how many goals were scored in the previous game. This is a lot more like it. There we go. Clock hitting 3 minutes. Now Leviathan's on the attack. I'd say this overtime has very much favoured Council of Sir here. I think they've had the best chances, especially that one earlier where they got a demo and just hit it into that bottomless corner straight into Billy. But Leviathans want that forward push. There's been a few double commits coming out here, and some call-offs as well. Not all double commits are not calculated, especially in Premier where they go for these more advanced methods. There we go, BC on the ball, has Monkey Mode behind him, lurking for a Billy heavy touch. That's exactly what he got. Chip playing that ball straight into the hands of Panda. Gets that 50 towards a teammate, Beastie. Chip with a 100 boost now. Wants to challenge Monkey, does a great job of it. Panda taking his own corner. Big bump here from Chip, and an even better recovery there from Panda. That is a great transition from their defense, but they're unable to hold on to the ball. The gameplay extremely fast at the moment. It's back and forth. It's a huge opportunity, and that's an even bigger save by Beastie. And I think we can rescind my statement earlier. Leviathans with the best opportunity, and it's Beastie again with a goal line save.
Beautiful save in the end from Council Sir to keep that one away. And one thing that the stream can't see that I would like to mention is just how close we are in shots. And that's not the greatest of saves on the goal line, but does manage to keep it away. And that's pinching. It's going towards their net, but not close enough. And yeah, it is currently 12-11 shots-wise, or if my maths is correct. So very close. Both teams with some opportunities now, as we're getting ever so close to that double game, almost to that 5 minutes, as Stealth tries to bring it down that line. There's a 1v1 versus Beastie, goes up high, does manage to get the bump on Beastie, and takes the game with it. And that is the play you like to see, as yeah, just a great little air bump. I know people call them cringe, but if it goes in the goal, it works. And they take their win in that game too, tie the series 1-1. And just what a game 2 compared to game 1.
Yeah, there's no yellow cards, no red cards, no referees here in Rocket League. If you want to play dirty, if you want to play physical, that is well within your right. And Leviathan collects their first win of the series, and we're back to equality now, Chebs. We said this was going to be a close game. We said it wanted it to go all the way to game 5, and if the series follows the games we've had so far, that's looking to be the case. There really hasn't been too much separating these two.
No, definitely very close in that game 2. Just even in game 1, even though there was loads of goals, it was so close. Still only a 1-goal game in that game 1. And it's these teams have really shown that they're looking to perform. They're looking to progress. And we've seen Leviathans really clutch it up in that overtime. They had probably 2, maybe 3 of the best chances in that overtime, and did manage to get the goal in the end. So I think fully deserved that game 2, and it's on Council of Sir to bounce back, keep those mentals up, and just push on to game 3. I think game 3 is going to be so important, because it puts you in that driving seat, puts you on that match point for this series, and I think both teams are going to come out fighting.
Yeah, game 3 on a 1-1 scoreline, I always call it a swing match. This can be absolutely huge, and Council of Sir played such a close game previously. It's going to hurt, but that long overtime resulted to nothing. Leviathans, I think, in the more advantageous position, having that most recent win, especially after all the effort it took. Council of Sir gonna have to get their heads back into it, and I'm sure they will. These are very experienced players. These are very competitive players. and they know how to deal with these situations. They'll be looking at that score line, saying 5 minutes, 0-0. They'll have that mental reset, and it's Chip with an early clear here from a shot from Monkey Mode. It wasn't going to test him too much here, but forces out a response from Leviathans. That's another demo here. They're getting that little bit more physical. Stealth with the shot, unable to get it on. Monkey Mode back onto the ball. Beastie trying to find that top right corner. Chip does well on the defense. Monkey Mode. Another touch here, just has to leave it for Billy and his teammates. A great 50 from Panda. Beastie wants it. Baits in that 50 from Monkey Mode to hopefully have the advantage afterwards. But Stealth hasn't given up yet. He's kept on going. Beastie almost faking out Chip and going under. This is a huge attack for Council of Sir.
Yeah, they're starting to push forwards, keeping that pressure up. Good bump from Panda, leaves it for Beastie, but Chip is able to recover enough to get that touch. No boost now, but is able to pick up that 100. Gets straight back in the mixer. Stealth now goes for the double, fakes it out slightly, but Beastie does well to get it around. Good little touch from Stealth on target, but is saved away as Beastie now puts it middle, goes for the double, isn't able to get there. Bit of an overcommit from Panda, but he should be able to get back to it. Tries to put it into that corner, does manage to now as Monkey Mode in the air. Managed to get a nice little touch. Bump on Stealth. Beastie's up 2. Great save from Chip. It stays equal. And that was a very, very nice opportunity for Council of Sir.
Well, 2 minutes have gone. There's been 4 shots from Council of Sir and 4 saves from Chip. He's been completely shutting them down so far. It's reminiscent of game number 1. Replace the name Chip with Billy, of course. Conceded a lot more goals in that initial game, but being that only defensive player, it seems so far, to stop the ball going over the line, they're gonna need a little bit more, especially if Council of Sir keep on delivering, and especially if they start to get a bit physical and notice the player that's preventing them all this time. Knock him out. Maybe you have a Nectar challenge. A save from Stealth. Chip was also up for it. Leviathan's really been tested here in game number 3.
Council of Sir have come out fighting. I'm sure they are upset that they lost that game too, and they're really going to battle in this game 3. Great dunk from Beastie, gets the first goal, and there really, I don't think much more that Stealth could have done. He did manage to get there, maybe go a bit lower, but Beastie does what he does best and gets that dunk, gets that goal. 2 minutes 16 on the clock, and it's up to Leviathans to respond.
Yeah, I think it was that light touch there from Beastie that sent Stealth a little bit wide, but it kept it a bit more central, allowed Beastie to have complete control over that 50, and as you can see, it was in his favour. 1-0 now, the score to Council of Sir. We've seen Leviathans make comebacks before, we know it's possible. Can they bring it out again to put themselves on match point, or are they going to concede that powerful position here to the Council of Sir side? I know Kingsman is watching. I'm sure he is biting his nails. This has been a very riveting series. It's just been so back and forth. There have been huge chances. There have been huge saves. It's taking these little blips to get over the line.
Yeah, but as we speak, Leviathan's starting to bring it forward, and I'm sure Sky High and Conflict are also there watching along as now Panda on the wall, tries to go past Chip, but Chip does well. Good bump onto Beastie from Billy, but Monkey Mode does manage to meet it. Chip tries to put it middle. Stealth has already committed to the original touch now, as it finally finds its way all the way back to Billy. Stealth up quickly, but Monkey Mode is quicker, as Billy tries to get a touch, isn't able to get too much, and that's going all the way. There's no one in there. Panda's touch goes the distance, gets that second goal. They double their lead, and there was just no one there. Monkey Mode just watched it go in.
I believe that was a ceiling pinch attempt there from Panda. Very ambitious here to put yourself onto match point, to continue your lead, widen it just that little bit, give yourself that insurance. Very brave, and it's somehow worked here. Like you said, Leviathan's no one back. Try and put the hardest shot possible at net. What better than a ceiling pinch? They keep on going though now. Council of Sir trying to make it free. They haven't given up. Once they smell that blood in the water, once they see these cracks start to show in the Leviathan's defense, they're going to do everything within their power to exploit it. We've seen a high-scoring game before from Council of Sir. They're looking to bring it again, but make it a lot more one-sided. Leviathan 20 seconds to make a comeback. I think Stealth is going to be kicking himself for that shot, however.
Yeah, Bill looking very awkward. That might be going the whole way. Does manage to get a little touch to put it onto that crossbar now. Stealth up very, very high. Tries to get the double. Isn't able to get that crossbar as well. And the woodwork fights back here in the Council of Sir's favour. It stays 2-0. They take game 3. It puts them on match point and in the driving seat of this series. And just so much more clinical from Council of Sir. Way less mistakes. And that's all you need to win games.
Yeah, Leviathans, they had their chances there. I think they should have at least scored one, especially in those dying seconds where you have a few crossbar hits, you have a few wasted one-on-one situations where I think that composure was just lost a little bit. They're going to have to pick themselves back up. They've got a top-level coach on their team now to bring them all back together. Billy going to have to put some words into their teammates because they have to win 2 on the trot. They cannot afford to take a game off because not only do they lose this series, they're knocked out of the entire tournament.
Yeah, at the end of the road is this series. But speaking of Billy, he's gone from 1,300 points, the best player in the lobby, to less than 200 in that third game. And I think his teammates are really going to be having to look at him as, where's he gone? I didn't see him do anything in that. I'm a prospect player. I'm allowed to make these call outs, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, he's pretty much donated it across the board, and his teammates are going to need some more from him. A bit more of that game 1, game 2 Billy. But it's on him now into game 4 to bring that self back to the forefront, as they're not sitting in the greatest positions in the series.
Well, I think we've seen a step-up game from Billy, a step-up game from Stealth, and a step-up game from Chip. We just need all of that to happen at the same time, and I think they'll have this Council Sir roster in quite a bit of confidence. We've seen how close these games have been so far. Beastly, Monkey Mode and Panda have been very well coordinated in between each other, looking for these infield passes, letting themselves call each other off, following up these 50s with close to perfection. And Leviathans now, they've just got to keep up. They've got to be that unit. We've got 3 very strong individual players, but this is a team sport. This is 3v3. This is RSC Premier. Everyone's got to get together, and Council of Sir could be sent packing.
Yeah, if Leviathans are able to pull this one out, they put Council of Sir in a very, very awkward situation. They haven't got the momentum from game 4, and they've got to try and pull it together on Champions Field. But now we're still here in game 4. We're just talking about ifs, as Council of Sir are being put under a bit of pressure, but currently are able to hold it out pretty well. Bill tries to put a shot on target, but Beastie's there to meet it. Trying to bring it forward. Good 50 against Stealth, as Monkey Mode is quite quick, but really good recovery from Stealth to keep it 50-50 as Chip instantly capitalising on that slight mistake again. Monkey Mode trying to pass it across the Panda, but sadly too far to the side of him, as Chip very quickly on it, puts it into that open net. They take the lead 1-0, and it's what you want in Leviathan's eyes, is getting that early goal, and now it's on them to kind of hold their defense together.
Yeah, it's exactly what they need, and we saw Council of Sir were able to hold their lead in the previous game. Leviathans looking to do the same now. Plenty of time left, however, for this match to change. 3 minutes 30. I'm not sure if they're going to be feeling all the confidence yet, unless they can get that second, and it will be what they are fighting for. Stealth, maybe a psycho attempt, that would have been certainly something special. Settles with just putting it to the wall, just putting it out of danger here, keeping it to his teammates. Chip again challenging on that wall. Monkey Mode, plenty of boost here, will be challenged by Billy. That ball's looking dangerous. That touch, no one on the end of it. Chip having to 50 Monkey Mode. Monkey Mode advances the ball up forward, but Bill has some work to do. Stealth in a very nice pop-up redirect. It would have set Billy up nicely, unable to get it. It's these small differences that can completely change the outcome of the series. Panda with a very brave, very powerful back pass here to Beastie, I believe that was. That requires a lot of faith in your teammates, and that has been something that I've complimented Council of Surf for having the entire series, but Chebs, what do you think they need now to get back into this?
Yeah, I think they just play their game. They've shown that they can hold it together. They can work those mistakes out of Leviathans, and they've just got to keep playing their game. But with 2 minutes to go, they are running out of time as Chip now tries to put it back middle, gets a pass off to Billy, who ends up causing a triple commit in that defense from Council of Sur. Maybe panic starting to set in. Only 2 minutes to go until Champions Field as it stands. Now Stealth tries to put it middle. Is able to get it over Beastie, but good save from Monkey Mode to keep it alive as he brings it forward. Good block from Chip, and we're seeing so much more aggression from Leviathans. These early ego challenges, as we like to call them, as Chip completely dunking one of the Council of Surf players as it pops into that corner. Beastie tries to put it middle, doesn't manage to get there. Panda gets the touch. Chip very, very quickly again onto that ball. Monkey Mode in the corner. Fake challenges, but does manage to come out with the ball. Stealth puts it back into the mixer. Tries to take it inside of Panda, but Panda is able to get that touch. Ball comes across. Chip puts it towards net. Great save from Monkey Mode. Keeps it 1 goal. 1 minute 12 on the clock now. And Council of Sur, time is ticking out.
They spent most of this match in the defense, which I think has been unusual for a team that's been so attacking the entire series. Leviathans have been suffocating at the moment, and that chance there that we saw earlier, the flip reset attempt, that would have certainly been something. And Chip, he demos the goalkeeper, leaves it nice and open here for Stealth. It was a good pop-up from Billy as well. All 3 Leviathan players getting involved. It's exactly what I was calling for at the beginning of this game. These 3 have just got to link up, and they can beat this Council of Sur team. 2 goals now for them. They've got that huge cushion with 45 seconds left to go. I think Champions Field is almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I think Leviathan's really putting it on as Monkey Mode tries to get that touch. Good play from Stealth just to keep it too high to be going into the net as Panda up is able to get a touch. Tries to go for another. Misreads it slightly as Billy now puts it forward to Chip. Passes it back to Stealth. There's a nice little passing play as Stealth brings it forward, gets the foot preset. Doesn't manage to get any touch on it, but Chip is able there to follow up. Gets another foot preset over the top of Monkey Mode. Keeps it in that corner. Tries to put it middle, but Panda cuts that one out. 10 seconds left. Gets the shot off. And they're in full time. 7 seconds on the clock. 1 goal separates them. And that's kind of come out of nowhere. Maybe a bit of overconfidence from Leviathans. Stealth pushing that tiny bit too far up and isn't able to recover back in time. 1 goal separates them. 7 seconds. Let's see how this kickoff goes.
It's a similar situation to game 1, switching the teams now. Can Council of Sur show them how it's done? Well, Chip looking to completely deny that, and that dream died fairly quickly, but another one approaches. Chebs, we are going to Champions Field. Leviathans versus Council of Sur now fight for their lives in one final 5-minute showdown. The loser knocked out the tournament. The winner forced to play Hosky to earn the right to go to play-ins.
It's a big final game. Both teams have shown what they can do. I think they both deserve that spot, but sadly, not both of them can move on. Winner takes all in this final game. And it just really is who can ice up. We both thought it would go to game 5, and here we are going into game 5. Proves our predictions are just top level, Mr. Pegasus, as we end up in game 5, and just game 5ception all the way around. And with 10 seconds till we get underway, your prediction is in the eyes of Leviathans. Do you still think it's going to go that way?
It's too close at the moment. Like I said, I was trying to pick between my head and my heart, so ultimately, you know, I can take a bit of pride on that front. But Leviathans really strong at the moment. If they continue like they did in the previous game, I don't think Council of Sur can stop them. I think if they take this, it would have to be due to a slight drop of quality. When Billy, Chip, and Stealth are all connected, I don't think there are many games that Council of Sur can take off them.
Yeah, but we're getting very quickly underway as Monkey Mode and Chip meet straight away. Good little touch from Chip. Tries to put it middle. Billy up. Gets the flip reset, but Panda is there to meet it on the backboards. Chip now, I think, definitely has stepped their game up as the series has gone on, playing much more aggressive, and it seems to be working now. Monkey Mode gets that touch. Billy's there to meet it. Tools off that post. Is Beastie able to get there? He does, but Chip doesn't care. As I said, playing that aggressive play style, challenges it, even if it's not there for him, and he gets a demo on his way through as well, puts it into that goal. They take the lead 1-0, and looking very strong into game 5, keeping that aggression, keeping that momentum, and that's just perfect from their point of view.
And that was excellently played by Leviathans. All 3 players getting involved to shut out every single option that Council of Sir had. They had no choice. They were completely suffocated. Once that first ball was allowed in, the goal was almost guaranteed. But Panda, managing to sneak one in here from the near post, beat Stealth with confidence. Billy waiting in the net, and look at that for an angle.
I don't know what happened. Chip was handed an open net and hits the post. It then ricocheted out. Panda took the ball, put it in the goal. They equalised the game. That one mistake could cause so much momentum shift now. As Monkey Mode puts it into the middle. Panda, the scorer of that goal, puts it into the corner as Chip is there to meet him. Tries to put it forward. Good challenge from Panda now. Beastie versus Bill. Bill does manage to get that touch. Monkey Mode back to Beastie, who is able to stay with it. Gets the flip reset. Tries to take it under Stealth, but Stealth does manage to read it just well enough. Billy looking for that bump. Panda very awkward, but Monkey Mode, just after that demo, is able to recover. Gets the save. Keeps it level. And both teams, you can tell both teams want this. And these are the best kind of games you get.
Certainly, in Council of Sir, having that little bit of composure. Everyone in the lobby knew that Billy was hunting for those demos, but they kept themselves grounded, kept themselves in the best position, and the game remains equal. But Leviathans not giving up on their pressure. There's an option at the near with Stealth, popping it high. Will Billy get involved? Yes, he will. Panda still getting it past. Stealthy now on the ball. Billy hunting those bumps again. We get the flip reset, and Stealth puts his side ahead.
What a play from Stealth, but we got to look at Billy in that. He gets the bump on Monkey Mode, completely shuts him out from saving that shot, and they take the lead yet again, Leviathans. And they've shown that that goal did not faze them. They probably called it luck, as now they are trying to keep this game at a 1-goal lead. As Panda now tries to bring it forward, passes it off to Beastie, pops it up middle, but Billy is there to meet it, but not the greatest of clearance. Beastie very quickly tries to get a shot off, but Billy does well to clear that one away. Chip now tries to pass it forwards. Nice little passing play from Leviathans as Beastie tries to meet on the backboard, does manage to, no Stealth in sight. As Billy now pinches it, but Panda is able to beat him. Looking a bit awkward from Leviathan's point of view, as Chip now on that ceiling is able to get it across. Beastie puts it forward. Panda almost lands on it, but not close enough. It stays 2-1, and that was a big opportunity for Council of Sir to score an absolute screamer.
That would have been incredible. That would have been one of the best ways to get yourself back in this series. A little bit of a confidence booster. That would have got everyone in the comms screaming. Got to get them motivated, get them excited to finish the game, but unfortunately, that was not the case. Monkey Mode, though, coming off the ceiling, tries to fake out Chip. Chip not falling for it. Panda getting that ball off the corner. Well read by the Leviathan's defense, who completely shut down that near post. And it's again blocked well. Panda given too much space here. Gets the bump afterwards. Chip having to clean up. Monkey Mode hits the crossbar there. I think Leviathans can count their blessings here, but Stealth with an opportunity. Tries to find that top left corner. Tries to find Chip, who still manages to get the flow up off that back wall. Tries to make it that bit more difficult for Monkey Mode. It doesn't work as he stays on the ball here. Panda, last one behind, commits. That's dangerous. And they've gotten away with it again. It just feels like Premier is so unique. You see these small mistakes, just a touch, but a little bit too heavy, and you think the game is over.
But Council of Sir definitely starting to try and get this goal. We saw them last game really start to push back as the game went on. Beastie gets the shot and gets the equaliser. Bill on his own in that net. Chip stuck in the corner, couldn't get anywhere near it. Great bumps from Panda to keep him there. Big whiff from Stealth, and Bill is almost able to get there, but doesn't manage to get it away. They tie the game up, 1 minute 10. This is getting really, really tense.
Yeah, and it's Jordan with the dunk. They're back to an equal game, a 2-all scoreline. I must say, the momentum has heavily favoured Council of Serene. I'd be lying if I thought that goal wasn't a long time coming with the amount of pressure they had in the most recent minutes. It's Beastie up. That would have been a nice redirect. It's still laid off to monkey mode. Chip, last-ditch defense, keeps it out of the goal, and it's Billy who's going to have to try and transition this to something. Gets himself a flip reset for that extra bit of oomph. Stealth flies into that ball. Billy keeping it into the half, but Panda will make easy work of it. Chip will be unable to get there. Stealth keeping it low, keeping it close. Monkey back on the wall. Tries to find BC in the midfield. Chip has missed it. And it's an insane save there from Bill to stop the team going behind in the dying seconds. Can they get the counter-attack? Or will we see an overtime? 13 seconds left on the clock. Chip on the attack. That one goes wide. And Panda awkward on the wall now.
Oh my god, so back and forth. Two massive opportunities at both ends now as we tick towards this overtime, and it's about to get even more tense. Beastie lets it hit the floor. We're in overtime here in Game 5. Last goal wins. Last goal stays in play-ins as Monkey Mode and Bill get us underway.
Well, this match has gone on for too long. We're here in Championsfield. We've had our long overtime. It will reach its bitter end very soon. And due to how long this series has taken, these players won't get much of a break to have to face Hosky here. But who will be our three gladiators to play the reigning champions there? They've been, quite unlucky to have to face them in the lower bracket. It's not what you have expected. And oh my word, it's an insane shot here from Chip. He found himself in front of the ball, still wraps himself around it. What an angle. Finds that near post corner. Leviathan's face Hosky.
What an ending. That was so much quick. I thought that was going to go on for hours, that overtime, but Chip finds the angle, tiny angle, gets it away. They take Game 5, they take the series, and they send Councillor Sir packing. And I would say, but it was so close. Yeah. So close. Councillor Sir could have taken that, and I would have gone, yeah, fair enough. But Leviathan's taken it, and I also say fair enough. It was that close. Either team could have taken it, and we see here with the stats, 13 goals to 14. It was that close.
And it's one of those situations where you feel like neither team deserved to lose, both deserve to win, but unfortunately, we do not do draws in play-ins playoffs. We leave all of that nonsense for league play. One team had to get knocked out, and unfortunately, it was Council of Sir. Essentially, that master side stepping up here in Premier. They've gotten very far. I think they've proven a lot of people wrong by getting to this point and holding such a close series here in play-ins. But Billy gets your series MVP, 5 goals from 16 shots, 2 demos, along with, get a load of this, Chebs, 17 saves, an insane defensive performance, and, not lacking that impact in the other half.
No, 5 goals is still respectable. That's still at least 1 per game in a 5-game series where it goes all the way. And it was really that close. And Billy, if we look at his final thing, 2,900 points, 1,300 of those came in just Game 1. Which is a crazy stat to even think about. But he must have heard me in that break between Game 3 and 4 where I said he needs to do some more. Billy, he's only got 200 points. I'm calling him out, and he takes the MVP. He took the MVP in that last game, 600 points, and he did what I asked him to, and they win the series because of it. I'm taking all full credit for that game.
Well, if any teams are looking for RLCS coaches, we've got Big Chebs here ready to slap them back into the gear, get them playing and letting them take this series. And we are going to go on a very short break here. Don't worry, me and Chebs will return for the second series. It's going to be Leviathans versus Hosky. That is one to be excited for. The reigning champions versus Leviathans. Can they cause an upset? Only one way to find out, and that's by seeing you all very, very soon.
this all again, from the start until the end, and I've waited for so long. And I'll see this all again, from the start until the end. I've waited for so and I'll see this all again, from the start until the end. I've waited for so keep stopping myself from trying to find what we are, keep stopping myself from trying to find what we and I see this all again, from the start until the end, and I've waited meets the moon, and the sun that will not move. Do you think you are? Who do you think you
Welcome back to the RSC EU Premier Play-ins, and Chebs, we return again to watch the reigning RSC Premier Champions. I don't think many people expected to see them playing this early here in a play-ins round 2 situation. They're going to have to fight Leviathans, who we just watched go to war against Council of Sir in a Game 5 match. Was extremely close, but words can't describe how excited I am to watch the reigning champs.
Yeah, super excited for this series, but we've just seen Leviathans play. They were very, very solid. They're going to take that momentum into this series. I think a lot of people expect Hosky to just be that aggressive team and just win it, but Leviathans will have that momentum, so we'll see what happens. But we finally have this updated play-ins bracket now, as you see Leviathans taking that ever so close win over Council of Sir in round 1, and yeah, it's going to be a great weekend as this weekend goes on.
Yeah, and it starts off nice and exciting here on the stream with Hosky versus Leviathans. Of course, the winner going to playoffs only with one life. Both teams trying to make go on an absolute tear if they want to take this all, including a bracket reset grand finals required. But here we have the player stats. Pluvo, I believe it is Grammar, Lems, and Cedric making up Team Hosky, and Leviathans, we already know what roster they're going to play.
Yeah, playing the same roster as ever, and they looked strong in that first game, and their stats proved it. Bill, definitely the one to keep watching, but Chip pulled it forward as that series went on, so definitely another name. But Stealth, as always, was very solid throughout. But looking over at this Team Hosky lineup, they're not in the lobby yet, so I can't give you the exact roster that is playing. I'm going to assume Pluvo, Grammar, and Alems. And obviously, as we were talking about just before we came live, Alems being that player that has gone onto that has taken a spot pretty much on that William Resolves women's roster, even though they're not called that anymore, they're called something else. But that's where she's come from. Now she's here on Team Hosky, tearing up, just causing chaos. 25 goals from her games throughout the series, throughout the season, 40 saves, and just an all-round solid pickup for Hosky.
Yeah, and Team Hosky were a team that didn't play a lot of their games early in the season, to the frustration of Kingsman on RS Cast, but later in, they had a bit of congestion. They had to play a lot. They've got themselves now into this fourth place position. They've got themselves into play-ins. Now they really have to perform. Only one life to try and go the whole way. They were favourites at the beginning of the season. Can they keep up the fight? Can they keep going? Can they go all the way? Well, their mission starts here against Leviathans.
Yeah, definitely. But speaking of Mr. Pegasus, are you going to back your boys from game one? Are you going to back Leviathans, or are you going to switch it up on them and go for Hosky?
Look. Call me a flip-flopper all you like. Team Hosky are the reigning champions, okay? And I just can't deny that, so I'm going to go for Hosky here. And brutally, we went all the way in the last series. I think this one's going to be short. 3-0 to Hosky. Let's give the reigning champions some respect. I think they go all the way. And I'm getting some news here from Archeon that Pluvo actually didn't play the last few series, which is pretty interesting. I guess that's why you see Cedric has a few games to the name, and those series weren't they didn't win many of them. Cedric does have a 27% win percentage with them, so that's just the effect of not having a very, very key player playing, and we hope that we're even going to get a team to play today, because currently none of them are in the server.
No one that joined just quite yet, but we can talk about these teams. They've got a big run ahead of them if they go on to win this, starting in that lower round one in the final playoff day on Sunday, I believe. So definitely something that they've got to look forward to. Very much a strong. They've got to put a strong performance to make it through that lower bracket and get to get to those finals. And you've got to still reset that bracket, and it's a lot to ask on a team.
And as it stands here, I do have news from the producer that we've currently had no reply from the Hosky players. Of course, Cedric in chat here saying that he has no idea if the team was around, so it's clear that the planned roster was going to be Pluvo, Grammar, and Alems, but none of them responding yet. We will want to get them in nice and soon. It would be a shame to have to forfeit the reigning champs, like we were saying before. If we could get them back, that would be absolutely huge. I want to watch them play here, Chebs.
Yeah, Cedric the Sleuth is going to look for them. We're going into those backrooms, going into those chats, trying to find his boys for this series. But yeah, I think Hosky under Sanctuary's franchise, I believe. So whether that will lead to maybe a call up on the boys from Sanctuary. I'm not sure, because no one wants to see a forfeit in playoffs. But definitely something to keep in mind as we're still waiting on these players for game one. And yeah, Leviathans are here. They're ready to go for it. They showed what they could do in that first series, taking down a pretty strong Council of Sir side. And with Hosky not here, I think they're rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, I would be hoping for the forfeits if I was in the Leviathans situation, because this is, going to be such a scary match. I did get the pleasure of casting Hosky in the upper finals last season, where they played, I believe it was Symbiotes, and of course they went on to win that match and the entire tournament. And going from that to a play-in round 2 finish is going to be a bit rough. But we've got news from Cedric that he has been on the case. He has sent them a message, so very, very soon we hope to get them together. We would hate to have to start the dreaded forfeit timer.
Yeah, definitely. We've already got Conflict asking about it. What the situation is when it comes to stream games and forfeits, and I believe, if I'm correct, it stays the same. If the teams are so late that there's no game can be held, then that's just how it is. But yeah, here's hoping Cedric the Sleuth is able to get something up the way. But either way, looking forward onto the rest of the bracket, my main thing is looking on the game in the upper bracket that'll be on streamed later, which is Team Serene versus Illusory, and that is going to be a big game.
Of course, and Team Serene, obviously, there's no secrets here that they are my organisation. I third in command for them. I captained their challenger team. I took them to the finals and only that far this season. And the Prem team is insanely good. They didn't play many of their games a lot. Similarly to Hosky, they left a lot of them right to the end because one of our players was extremely ill. I believe it was Gom, was unfit to play for quite a while. So they also had that bit of congestion. They really had to fight in those final weeks to get all those league games in. Ended up in those second/third positions to get themselves in the upper bracket. I think they're a team to watch this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. But on the other side, you've got Illusory. There's experience in that team. Obviously, Sapphics has been around in RSC for a long time, playing for Panthera, my org, last season, so I know them pretty well. Followed up by 2 other Scandinavians in Nico and Kietsu, and I think Cairo is also on that roster, if I'm correct. But very, very strong roster all round, and I think they'll really bring it towards Team Serene in that game later on. But either way, it's going. We're still waiting on players. I'm not sure really how it works. I know that looking at what's going on in this series, I believe Leviathans are looking very much in the idea of a forfeit, which is quite upsetting. Never fun, but I'm sure Leviathans will be quite excited about it.
Well, we've just got news in from producer Morv. The score now currently stands as 1-0 to Leviathans. We haven't started yet, but of course the forfeit timer game has gone off. We're in the 15th, so well, Hosky gonna have to fight on a deficit. That adds a little bit more spice to the mix now, doesn't it?
That's even if they can get a roster together at all. Alems has said that something is happening. We've got Archeon on the case, currently working out what's going on. Alem's given us some information saying that she doesn't know what's going on either. But we've got some time. We can also look at some of the other games, and I think looking at tomorrow, we've also got Solace and Sentient in that other lower bracket game. Sentient obviously being the Azteca roster, I believe.
Yes.
Is Eugen
Yes,
Hayes
I believe
and
so.
Hartman, I believe. So definitely a fun roster. I've watched them play before. I think they played on stream. I can't really remember, but I remember I've seen them play, and they play some fun Rocket League, some nice little passing plays.
And, well, the match I'm most excited for tomorrow, it has to be that upper bracket match. Visionary versus Charmin Esports. I know quite a fair bit about Visionary. They stood at the top of the table for the majority of the season, and then I think it was Berg made a very late season run, managed to put themselves over them, taking that second seed, and well, here they stand now, having to face Charmin, who late in the season again had to go on a bit of a push. They also stand as the only Charmin roster to but they stand as the only Charmin roster to make it to a play-ins / playoff. So they're really going to have to be the ones to represent the org. And, well, the run doesn't start easy. I'm hearing news now, Chebs. You can see it in our private chats as well. They are apparently pulling a team together. So hopefully soon we'll have ourselves a series, albeit with an advantage to Leviathans.
Yeah, we're ticking towards that second game. It's never what we like to see, but Leviathan's definitely still probably quite excited about it. But according to Cedric, we've got they're trying to get on, so we might have a roster.
Okay.
We might still have a game, but still time will tell. We're still ticking towards that second game forfeit. Only probably about 2 minutes left until that, if my mathematics is correct.
Wow.
2 minutes.
Well, Chebs, I've got a bit of a philosophical question for you right now. If Leviathan get given this second win via forfeit timer, and then Hosky manage to get here and finish the game 3-2, is it a reverse sweep or a sweep?
It's both. I guess it's a reverse
That's hard.
sweep.
That's hard.
They've gone 2-0 down, so it must be a reverse sweep, right?
Yeah, but they've only played 3 games. Yeah,
no.
that's can producer. If you're not busy, can we have a vote in chat? Can we have a vote in chat? Is that a sweep or a reverse sweep? I'm very curious as to what people will think about that. I cannot do it. All right. If anyone's in chat, say whether you think it's a sweep or a reverse sweep. If you are still around and have been oh so patient to wait these, well, almost 20 minutes now, Chebs.
Yeah, and we're getting very close to that timer, and it's going to put Hosky, if they do show up, in a pretty rough spot. As Ark has said, they've already given them an extra 5 minutes. So in theory, by the time we're getting towards 20 minutes, this should already be the series gone. But they've been given an extra 5 minutes to kind of allow it. But we've hit that 20-minute mark. That's 2 games to Leviathan. And 5 minutes left before the Hosky forfeit their way out of the tournament, and very, very early, to be honest, that could be happening.
Well, we've got news from Cedric here in chat. Pluvo is in the middle of Tesco's, and I can't get on as I'm not home, so we haven't got the players we look like. Well, it's an anticlimactic end then to Hosky's season, who I think are looking to put in a forfeit. And oh, there we go. We've got the confirmation. Producer Morv has put it in the live comms. Pluvo, the captain of Team Hosky, the captain of the former champions, have announced they have submitted for forfeit. Leviathans make it to playoffs.
Yeah, they make it through. I've just let them know in the game chat. They've made it through to that Sunday. We look at the post-series stats, and it's a monumental win for Alpha Surge. They take it 3-0, and mental statistics are on the board for both teams.
And Leviathans have dodged a bullet here. Not having to play Hosky. Hosky ended up in the lower bracket. Maybe if they were in the uppers, this forfeit wouldn't have meant anything. They could have done something, but it's confirmed now. Series over. An anticlimactic end to, you know, this champion streak. And well, Chebs, I'd love to sit here and talk with you all day, but it has been 22 minutes and we've had no gameplay to talk about. So I think we end this off by saying congratulations to Leviathans. They did earn their way through Council of Sir, and they earned their way through, you know, being here on time, ready to play the series. And now they get to play on a Championship Sunday. They're going for that lower bracket run. They're trying to go all the way, and well, their job's been made a hell of a lot easier now.
Yeah, they make it through to that lower round one. Still a massive ask of them to make it any further than that, but their hat is in the ring, and that's more that can be said for that. More than can be I can't speak. Than can be said for Team Hosky, who are gone. They're out. They haven't shown up. They forfeit their game. They're gone from the tournament, and it's a pretty shameful way to go. But I get it. Stuff happens. Mistakes happen, and yeah, there's always next season, I guess.
Well, apologies to any player who, sorry, not any player, any spectators that have been here waiting for the past half an hour since the last series. It's a shame we couldn't get this game together. However, there still is a third series left to go here. We do have ourselves, I believe, was it Team Serene versus Illusory? And that will be an incredible matchup. We're also going to pass across the casters now. Chebs and I will no longer be on stream. We're going to pass you on. Oh, in good hands. We've got Subzan and Vector. What a lineup you've got yourself. You've got yourself a good series. You've got yourself a good producer, Mr. Morv. You've got yourself two good casters. I mean, I guess we'll see you all after the break. Chebs, is there any final words you want to have to say after this very strange play-ins run?
Well, this is my last cast of playoffs, and it's a very strange way to end it. Lots of waffle, talking about things that are going to happen that I'm not actually going to be able to cast, but I'm excited nonetheless to see the results that come through. And yeah, for Game 3, you've got Vector, you've got Subzan, you're going to have great fun. It's going to be a great series. Team Serene versus Illusory. We touched on it very briefly during our waffle while waiting for the final result. We touched on it briefly, and you'll actually get to see those teams play, so don't go anywhere. You've got a little bit of a wait, but wait is going to be worth it. We'll see you all very, very soon.
Bye.
Easy to deny, no matter how I try. I'm slipping away. So close to falling into habit and giving just to have it. You're so easy to deny it, no matter how I try
When you're lonely, do you think of me? And the way you used to love me, and the way you used to love me. When you're lonely, do you toss and turn in the night? Is the grass still as green as you thought it was? Are you thinking in the back of your mind, there ain't no place I go?
Still remember. Pushing me to the brink. My body is yours, you've won. I'm finding it hard to think. I'm breaking it from now. You're pushing me to the brink. Feels like the air is moving through me, and I'm holding my breath. I reach out, I'm reaching out for you. Pushing me to the brink. My body is yours, you've won. I'm finding it hard to think. You're pushing me to the brink. Feels like the air is moving through me, and I'm holding my breath. I reach out, I'm reaching out for you.
to the RSC Season 13 Premier Play-ins. If you are just joining us, well, you've narrowly missed out on some weird proceedings. If you've been here for the past hour, we thank you so much for your patience as we have gotten things sorted out. As you may have known or noticed, Team Hosky did not appear for their play-ins matchup. That one was a 3-0 forfeit in favor of Alpha Surge. And on the opposite side, Subzan, it seems we've had both ends of the spectrum. We had an incredible Game 5, a tense, tight, competitive matchup between Alpha Surge and I've actually forgotten the name of the other team, which might give you some indication as to how well they played. I don't know. But Team Hosky didn't play. So we've had the extreme ends of either side. Do you reckon that means this is just going to be a boring one-goal game, 3-1 or something like that for the last match of the night, or is this one going to be the important one, the big bang?
Personally, I do think that this one will be the big banger of the evening. I mean, coming into this, we got one team full of names that I think most people would have heard of. The Team Serene roster of Gom, Nim, and Temper, all of which having placed highly in at least close qualifiers, if not RCS main events. Gom obviously having just played on Guild Esports in the last RCS. Temper got top 12, I believe it was, with Vertigo Esports, and Nim synonymous with getting to the last round of close qualifiers and then deciding he wanted to leave to go partying, but that's besides the point.
The man's got his priorities, all right?
Yeah.
That's just... some things are more important than Rocket League, and we've learned that tonight in two situations, as you just... what's the word? Enlightened us with, and, Tesco for some reason. Someone preferred that, so we will not get into all of that. That was maybe discussed in the chats within the Discord and within the Twitch. We move on now. We move up, in fact, because we are now in the play-ins upper bracket, shall we say. If either of these, when one of these teams fall, they shall go down to the lower bracket. One shall be in the upper bracket. They still have a lifeline. This is the second life, shall we say, that is still available to them. So even if one side loses, it's not the end of the world, and I just hope that they put on the performance that merits their ability to stay within the upper bracket.
I mean, certainly, but if we look at the team stats, both of these teams, despite being second and third seed from their respective conferences, both coming in with an equal number of game wins to each other, both maybe struggling a little bit more than they would have liked, but also, maybe showing the Glacies, which is where Illusion comes from, might be a little bit difficult in the Premier tier, which is not something that I can say is the same for most tiers in the RSC. I feel like Ignis is typically quite dominant, but again, even if you look at the stats and see that these teams might be equal, it all comes down to the names on both sides. I'm not too familiar with the illusory roster of Cairo, Nico, and Sapphics, but I've heard that Nico and Sapphics have played together a significant amount outside of the RSC and have picked up Cairo for this tournament, but I don't know if that's going to have that much of an impact, if I'm completely honest, against this Team Serene roster.
Well, honesty is often the best policy, Subzan, and it will be decided on the field as it always is. Just looking at the CMVs of each of these teams' players, it's a pretty cut and dry situation. It appears as though Team Serene will have the stronger of the two sides, the most well-known players, but it can often come down to underdogs making that difference and being the ones to sort of blindside their opponents. And if they're underestimated by this Team Serene side, by Nim, by Temper, by Gomb, incredible names on the Rocket League field, then we could really see an interesting series unfold. But we get beginning here with the final match of the night in the Premier Play-ins. First day of the Premier Play-ins. There will be 3 more matches to come tomorrow night, but this one is still to be decided. Who will go on to face the team that finished first? I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was the Shadow organization, Shadow Esports, that managed to finish out first, and whichever side wins this series will go on to face them. A punishment or a pity, who's to say? But it started out quite neutral here between the black and the purple, and I think they're just trying to feel each other out in these first few minutes, make sure they don't make too many obvious mistakes, and we'll just have to see how that unfolds.
Certainly, but to correct the point that you just made, while Shadow did make first from their conference, the winner of this series will actually play against. Yep. Yeah, they will actually play against Esports Berg, the roster of Icon and 2 top 8 from CRL Worlds players, Nagflow and Leafox, which I think that would be an interesting series, but neither of these teams are going to want to lose, but at the same time, the loser of this series goes down and plays the Leviathan roster that we've... Not the Leviathans, sorry. No, it is Leviathans. That
It is indeed. Alpha Surge, who, narrow victory in that 3-2 against Council of Sir. 2 strong teams that battled it out for an entire 5-game series. And Leviathans were expecting to be fighting Team Hosky, one of the other incredible teams within this Premier Division. Not to be. They got a free pass. Neither of these sides will. They're going to have to earn it. Tit for tat. And so far, it's just been a muted contest. They both seem to be completely cutting each other out. Of course, as soon as I speak, as soon as I say, oh, there's not been any goal scored. What's going on? This is Premier. We saw a ridiculous 13-goal game at the start of the night. And we've only just seen the first goal in almost 2 minutes in by a simple dunk in the midfield. It's strange to see for the Premier level, but maybe it'll pick things up now that a goal's been scored.
I mean, you're certainly correct there. That sort of goal is not something that I would count synonymous with players this high. It's the sort of thing I'd expect to see in my own ranked games, but maybe caught a little bit off guard by Suffix's confidence to dive on that ball, and Illusory, they're the beneficiaries of it. They get the first goal. It's brilliant momentum, especially coming into this series as an underdog.
That's more like it.
But Team Serene showing exactly why they've earned their stars, why they are the roster they are, and Nim to Temper puts it in the top shelf, and it's immediately equalized.
Clever little tasty dish to the midfield from Nim there. A lot of space to work with and utilized it well. Temper with that striking acumen sends it beyond 2 defenders and equalizes the game about halfway through. And now we're finally starting to see things warm up here in the opener, find their footing. And I want a back and forth. I want a slug match. I want to see these 2 teams pull out all the guns, all the tricks, and give us a great show. But it's continued to be a neutral game so far, unless Temper can find his way through once more. I didn't expect this kind of play to work. Sapix looking for the pass in the midfield. He just cuts it out completely. Somehow, he's the first player to get back to this ball. And I find myself saying it again, thinking this is relatively slow for Premier. The reaction time just seems off. I'm not sure what it is.
I mean, yeah, Nico caught hesitating a little bit there, pushing a little bit too deep into his own half. Maybe not prepared for the speed that Temper is able to produce. Remember, Temper, a player who's played on Team Vertigo, who made a top 12 run in RSCS Winter, played against the likes of Carmine Corp, but enough about Team Serene, enough about Temper. Time to talk about Illusion some more. Cairo, off the pass from Nico, dunks out Temper, just gets an open net. It's 2-2.
As always, you're only as good as your last game. Doesn't matter. You've been in the RLCS, top 12, top 16. This is the moment right here and right now. If you do not play your best game, then you're going to get beat. So far, they're not getting beat. Of course, they are now winning once more, as I can't even describe the situation that's going on between these 2 teams before another one goes flying through. Temper this time being the assist man, finds the touch, and a nice little nick across to the far side of the net for Nim to find the finish. And Gom just sort of being the man that sits back and buys his time, does the little things right. Got 2 saves to his name, to be fair, has been the defensive talisman, should we say, for Team Serene so far in this game, and it has kept them in it, but still just 1 goal between them, and with the loser's ability to score goals that are unexpected, that Team Serene certainly were not ready for. And I'm starting to think this is going to be a strange series, if not an interesting one, as we see, I think that was the first demo of the game on Cairo there, Nim to take him out to try and get in the back of Illusory's minds. Another demo here, I think is a double one, temporary 2v2, and it's allowed Team Serene to get out of this situation they found themselves in, but they still need to hold on to this fragile 1-goal lead.
I mean, yeah, they do. They say sometimes that offense is the best defense, and at the moment in this game 1, that's sort of looked like the strategy both of these teams have been going for. The defense lacking a little bit from what I'd expect from Premier, but The offense, certainly not. Illusory now looking to build off of a defensive pressure.
Whoa.
Them a little bit awkward to that one.
No
but
way, this is in.
Ball's floated right past, but somehow doesn't go in. Bounces off the post. Safix, he's lucky to not have that one bounce in. He might look for a bump here. Doesn't quite bump it. Cairo now pushes it. Gom gets a brilliant 50. Nim now up. Looks to try and get it upfield. Down to Gom, baby. Looks to redirect it. Hits it on the backboard. Temper's now up. He puts it low. Temper. I think that's the dagger in the series now. In the game now, sorry.
Not only that, hits the hat trick. Incredible aerial there from Gom. Didn't quite know where he was attempting to place it, but straight to the backboard and straight back to his teammate in Temper. Finds his third goal and the fourth for his team, and as you said, all but seals it. Has well, sent the dagger deeper, it seems, for game one. It's a wild strike. Finds its way above the illusory net once more, not in the position that they were hoping to be in game one. But it's just been a strange game. A weird opener that has almost ended 5-2 as an attempt at a dunk. Does not come to fruition. Team Serene do take it, but not in the most controlled manner, you have to say. Maybe they were just sort of biding their time, seeing what Illusory were capable of doing, and that's why they not necessarily allowed them to get 2 goals, but just weren't quite as stalwart in their defense, and especially in midfield, and cutting out the chances that Illusory had, because they just seemed to come off with nothing rather than a seriously developed, planned out attempt on the goal. As Team Serene's finishes were, 3 of their goals were assisted, so clearly an effort that they put together, and it made sense from the run of play and from the scoreline as well. And I think as the game, as the series develops, they'll not allow Illusory to play that kind of game as much as they were. But I might be completely wrong. I might be completely off base, and this is where Illusory really reveal their trap card and keep Team Serene penned back as we move on to Forbidden Temple.
I mean, I certainly agree with you. If there's a time to reveal a hidden strategy to take out a team like Serene, now would be the time. And clearly, Illusory were executing it, I think, in the first 3 minutes. The game, very chaotic, much more than I would have expected from players of this caliber. Maybe that chaos is sort of what Illusory will want to feed into. Maybe making Serene a little bit unsure of what they would normally expect to be quite routine plays, especially their passing that they, as you correctly said, they were very, very good at in that first game. Most of their goals coming off of brilliant infield plays that Illusory didn't have defended, and that eventually just developed into a brilliant run of offense. But now we move on to game 2 on Forbidden Temple. Illusory, they don't want to go down to a match point situation already, especially not against a team like this Serene roster, who, realistically, I don't see them giving up a reverse sweep, to be honest, but Illusory, they might think differently.
Improbable, but not impossible. Not even got to that point yet, of course. And I was thinking about it. The unforeseen circumstance of us having to start this series a little bit earlier than we planned may have thrown things out of alignment for both teams in that opening game. Maybe they didn't quite finish the warm-up that they were doing. Maybe they didn't even have a warm-up. That seems to happen quite a bit with higher tier players. They don't seem to put stock in that. They don't seem to bother as much. I don't want to say they don't take it seriously necessarily, but maybe they just try to keep things casual, keep things loose and relaxed, and that is the best way that they play, rather than getting too much into their heads and putting too much pressure on themselves. As a pressured attempt here from Team Serene to find their way through once more is stopped by Illusory still. Shots across the bow coming through here for them, and they could just take their time, wait, plan out their attack. Temper takes it over one, but gets taken out the sky for his trouble. Cairo is going to be able to pick it up, only met by Nim in the air once more. A midfield battle continues to ensue, but a chance for Illusory. Kind of fluffed their lines, but Nico with a strike hits the left post. Cannot find their way through to take their first lead of this series. That would have been a great boon to their chances here.
I mean, Illusory definitely ramping up the offense significantly more from game 1, but speaking of the warm-ups that you were just mentioning, I certainly think that could held a significant advantage, especially to Team Serene, who Net Temper specifically has just come off achieving top 4 result in Rendezvous, which I think, I mean, is probably the best warm-up any individual player could get. Playing consistent level of Rocket League for that long at that level, it's definitely going to have an impact, not only on his mental fortitude, but his own abilities coming into this. But let's not talk about Temper anymore. Let's talk about Gom. Slams that one into the back of the net.
I was going to say it's a bit of a
1-0.
double-edged sword. He's playing at that level, and then he's not necessarily coming down to this level, because it's still a quite high competitive environment. But as you say, it is Gom who has stepped into the spotlight and opened up the scoring once more for Team Serene here on Forbidden Temple. And it was just a diligent attack that. It was breaking down the defense from Illusory. Nothing special, nothing fancy. They just worked their way around the angles and found an open net to strike at. And openly finished it relatively simply. And they're going to have to find their way back across the field here now. Tempo with a decent aerial to get it beyond the midfield line. Gom with time and space, gets the flip reset, fakes out one. Nico's going to have to jump. Does manage to get it far enough away from Tempo. It's Cairo with a sidewall psycho, I guess you could call that, has opened up a bit more space for them to work with, and good diligence in the midfield to keep that away from the players. Oh, that would have been beautiful. So Cairo go up, look for that double tap, and that's the kind of thing I'm hoping to see develop even more over this series. Those highlight reel plays, really things to get your heart pumping, but it just didn't quite come to fruition for Illusory at that time, as another attempt by Team Serene will not quite go in here. Unfortunate for them.
I mean, yes, as you were saying, the mechanics typically quite synonymous with players of this sort of skill levels up in Premier. Oftentimes 2k, well, they're all 2k MMR, oftentimes pushing towards 2.1, 2.2, maybe even higher. Often able to pull off those extremely fancy and complicated mechanics you see in RCS. But Tempo doesn't need any of those mechanics. He just needs a power shot and puts it in the net.
Apparently unnecessary, very similar to their first goal in principle, in how they just broke down the defense in the right place at the right time, got the power and the direction on their touches that were necessary, and were just making the right decisions to get that ball through. There were two defenders on the line, but it was just so well placed. It got past both of them. It's gone off the ceiling once more with the reset and the pinch off the ground, but brick walls in front of him not allowing it through, as Safix is forced to hit this to his own backboard just to keep it away from the marauding offense of Team Serene here, and barreling into the final minute. It's going from bad to worse for Illusory as they have to find a way through. They've got this only one fewer shot than Team Serene so far, but they've just been ineffective. They haven't been dangerous or threatening, as this one goes flying back over. Easy enough for Nim to get a touch, but not enough power, so Cairo can keep it in the black half. And he's got no boost. Nim somehow still getting a clear out with nothing in the tank. Just shows you how efficient Team Serena be here on the back line.
I mean, efficiency, one of the key things of players at this level, often requiring plays that have very little boost actually committed into them, often making a lot of plays with just like 20, 30 boost, because especially at the top level, boost starving is very, very effective, especially with how much boost you would need to pull off complicated mechanics. But Serene doing a brilliant job, even with low boost. Illusory stuck on defense right now, not really able to get out. Safix, that was a brilliant 50 with Temper, but they need to make a play upfield now. Cairo booms it, Gom's a bit awkward, but he gets to it brilliantly. Nico, oh, what a double tap from Gom to move that one away from the net. Nico can't follow it up. It almost looked like it might have been a consolation goal there, but unable to put it away. Serene get the second in the series. Illusory, they need to reverse sweep now if they want to keep in the upper bracket and avoid that Leviathan's team.
A lovely read there from Gomb on the back line. It's often quite frightening when you have to make a double tap off your own backboard, but that looked calm, composed and controlled, as was this entire game for Team Serene's sake. 2-0. And as I said, at the end of game one, I thought just throughout the series, Team Serene would start to compound their control. They would start to make sure that Illusory didn't have anything. I mean, they had plenty of shots, don't get me wrong, and they had time on offense, but it never really felt as though Illusory knew exactly what they wanted to do with the ball, especially on defense. It was utterly disjointed when they were trying to get the touches out. They barely had the boost that was necessary. Again, as you said, that boost stabbing is so effective. It becomes a luxury, a commodity that is necessary to be selfish about and maintain throughout the game, because you know for a fact your opponent is going to be taking every single liquid that they can, every single liter of boost that's necessary to stab you out and force you to play a certain kind of game. And Team Serene did that very well. They'll have to continue to do so here on Sovereign Heights, but in their favor, it is match point. Illusory on the back foot. This is crunch time.
As you were saying, boost certainly a luxury, and Illusory clearly haven't paid their subscription for it yet. Clearly, Team Serene doing a very good job at keeping them locked down in their own half. Maybe Illusory, now they're in game 3, they start maybe sending everything, committing to those boost grabs on the opposite side.
No way.
With a double. Doesn't quite get it, but Nim follows it up brilliantly. And this is exactly what makes this Team Serene roster so dangerous. Even if one of them misses the shot that they're going for, the other one has full faith in them and follows up brilliantly, almost instantly in fact. And there's just no time to breathe. Serene up 1-0.
1-2-3 play almost directly from the playbook. Another one developing here of kickoff. Doesn't quite work out, but loved that musty flick. It was magnificent. Follow up by Gomb. Very unlikely to get it on target, but he just knows his third man's going to be right there at the right time to finish it off, and Team Serene continue to do what they do best. Break down their opponents in every aspect of the game. Continue their dominance. Temper to look for Gomb once more, and they're going to finish it off like it's nothing. Training ground routine. 2 goals, the same amount that they scored throughout the entire game, has happened within the first minute here on Sovereign Heights. And Illusory have 0 response.
And like a hot knife through butter, Temper just slices through the defense every single time he gets the ball. You have to wonder, does Illusory even have an answer for him at this point? Or is Serene just going to continue running away with this game 3?
Very likely, considering, if you believe the Twitch chat, they are all in favor of Team Serene, very much singing their praises right now, and it's hard to argue. They are completely in control, know exactly what they want to do with the ball at all times, and almost always make the right decision. But there's a chance here for Safik, sends it high, maybe kind of rushed that play as Temper, plenty of boost, and recognized exactly what they were capable of doing in that situation. He probably should have passed it. They had a 2-man play. And I think at this point it is just desperation setting in for a loser, looking for absolutely anything that they can get, as that one goes high and wide as well. And it always seems to be a 1-man offense. Whenever they push up the field, they're not quite ready. They need time to recover and get back into a better position just to make sure they don't get countered on, as they do here. Has gone to the backboard, not able to get back to his own touch, but just pinched straight to Nim. Free shot across the far side of the post. Temper right there to follow up. Safik has to desperately dive upon it. Another one for Gom. We're going to put it high, and it's just shot after shot for Team Serene. It doesn't need to go in. All that needs to happen is the ball staying out of their own half, and they've managed to do that for the majority of this game. I'm struggling desperately to find a way for Illusory to get this one through. Oh my god, I cursed it. I actually helped a team this time, Subzan. I'm so happy. Illusory finally on the board once more. They get one back with just over half the game to go. Very, very strange proceedings.
Gom, maybe a little bit too focused there on chain dashing across the entire backboard rather than waiting back post. It feels like quite a basic thing to say, but he got caught lacking a little bit on the front post. Illusory took advantage of the fact that that was a relatively open net. That's certainly not an offensive opportunity. I would have expected Serene to give up, but Illusory, it might be exactly what they need, and from what I've seen straight off of this kickoff, it looks to have reinvigorated life into them. They seem to have a new spring in their step now, but Cairo, he didn't have much boost to actually make anything of that. It's boomed down now to Nico, tries to make something of it, but Gom, brilliant read from him, exactly as you'd expect from a player of his caliber. Nim cuts out in his own half any chance of an offensive play. That's like, it's like perfect from Serene. Every single time the ball comes to a dangerous spot, they're just there. They're just there to block it out, and Illusory, they need to work overtime to get anything in this game.
And overtime may be exactly what they were forced into, unless Team Serene can once more regain that crucial 2-goal lead. Another 1-2-3 passing play. You're talking about them being perfect. I mean, no one is perfect. It's impossible. It's an ideal. It's something you're always chasing, and it cannot be achieved. But Team Serene are getting mighty close to it. Like they're just off the edge of speed of light right here. And Gom now dribbling backwards in his own half just to show how confident they are, how little they care about Illusory's ability to play this game. I mean, I was going to mention it just briefly, that we can't just throw away Team Illusory completely. We can't just wash off their achievements. They finished third in their conference. And many people might say Ignis was stronger than Glacis this season, and there are arguments for that, but it's no mean feat to finish anywhere in the top 5 in the Premier Division. Every single one of these players is here for a reason. They're all capable of playing the game at this level. Some just unlock that extra level when it comes down to the important moments. And right now, that is Team Serene with a final minute, once more bearing down upon Illusory. They must find a goal within the next 30 seconds, or they are looking at going down to the lower bracket of these playoffs. And that is not where you want to be.
It certainly isn't, but Illusory, they would at least be counting their lucky stars that they're not facing Hosky when they get down there, because as it stands, they don't have anything to stop Gom and the rest of Team Serene. The shot just brilliantly placed from halfway. Cairo caught outfield a little bit too far there, maybe pushing upfield, because I don't blame him. He's got 40 seconds to score what was 2 goals. He had to play offensive at that point, and Gom spots that brilliantly, just puts a hard and fast shot over his head. Illusory, they now have a 3-goal deficit to overcome in 30 seconds. Now, I don't want to call it impossible, but especially against a team like Serene, it almost is impossible.
It's just, I'll call it at this point, time of death for Illusory's upper bracket run was about a minute in this, the final minute in this third game, because they just have not been able to find any sort of rhythm, any sort of connection between one another throughout the series as a whole. The first game, maybe we thought there was some sparks of life. They got a couple goals, but Serene got 4, just as they did in this one, and they've kept them held back to only 3 goals in the entire series, as opposed to 10 of their own even, 4-4-2, and it's just been a purely professional performance from Team Serene. I mean, there was a lot of chatter in the Twitch chat that they don't necessarily take these things that seriously, at least against this kind of opposition, which is no demerit against Illusory, but perhaps that, like I said in the first, it was the first or the second game, that they're trying to stay relaxed, they're trying to stay casual, because that's the most effective way for them to play, rather than taking it too seriously, putting that pressure on themselves unnecessarily. And it just sort of unlocks who they are as players. We talked about it plenty in the pre-game, just how great these players are, the pedigree that they have, the highest levels that they've been to. Clearly that experience and that ability won out today, and has allowed them to stay in the upper bracket, go on to face Esportberg on Sunday. But commiserations to a Team Illusory. They still have that opportunity going down into the lower bracket, but as I said before, it is the last place you want to be at the beginning of your playoff campaign. And I just hope the best for them, because even though they didn't perform as well as they hoped in this matchup, they still finished third in league play, and I think that grants them a fair bit of respect, and I hope they perform well later on. But congratulations to Team Serene, they did brilliantly.
Certainly, but if we take a look at the series MVP, I know it's just come off of the screen at this point. Temper with more goals and more assists to his name than Illusory scored in the entirety of that series. But if I'm completely honest, that MVP could have gone to any one of those players. Gom, Nim, and Temper all pulled their weight and all were absolutely brilliant across that entire series to completely lock Illusory out of any hope of winning that. But Team Serene, they move on in the upper bracket, as you said, to play Esportsberg, the roster of Icon, Leafox, and Nagflow. Illusory, they go on to play Leviathans. Thankfully, it's not Hosky, or at least they'll be thanking their lucky stars it's not Hosky, because Leviathans, at least in my opinion, a significantly easier matchup than Hosky. Maybe they won't believe that, but from my perspective, and probably from theirs, they'd rather have Leviathans.
Based on what I've heard, it seems like Team Hosky are in disarray, that they don't have much communication, and they might not have that chemistry anymore that they had throughout league play. Whether or not that affected them significantly enough for Illusory to be strong enough to beat them, we'll never know. It doesn't matter. That timeline is done and dusted. It doesn't exist anymore, because as we said before, Team Hosky, they forfeited that series, didn't turn up to play, and my prediction sort of right, in that we had a crazy 3-2 at the start of the night. Midway through, nothing happened. There was a forfeit, and then this one, just a clean sweep, essentially. Team Serene, I mean, the bookies were in their favor, of course, and it's no surprise to a lot of people that they managed to continue their run in the upper bracket, and in such a relatively dominant fashion. That first game, bit of a feel-out period for them, I think. Still scored 4 goals like it was nothing. Second game, they just held on to what they did in the first and continued that dominance. Third game, they just wanted to close it out. They didn't want to waste any more time in this matchup, and I'm looking forward to what they're capable of doing against Esportberg, if they can play in the same manner or if they will get muted out in a lot of ways that they were able to exploit Illusory. Time shall tell, though, Sobosan, because that will be it for tonight for us in the first half of the Premier Play-ins. We'll be back tomorrow with some more, and I'm looking forward to those ones as well. I won't be there for that, Subzan. I don't know if you will be, but whoever will be casting, that's unfortunate, but we'll get some more incredible casters in the booth as well to preside over those. We hope you've enjoyed the proceedings tonight, even though we've only had 2 matches technically. Again, we apologize for that. Thank you for your patience as we work through those issues. But if there's nothing more that you'd like to say, Subzan?
No, not in particular. I mean, the only thing I've really got to say is I think this Serene roster, they maybe have more in the tank, but only time will tell. We'll have to wait till Sunday to see that, but for now, that's all we've got for today. So we'll be returning tomorrow at the exact same time, different faces, for Sistema Solaris' Solaris team versus Azteca's Sentient Esports. So we'll see you then.
Yeah, I completely agree. Team Serene, I think they've got more gears to go through. We'll just have to see if they can continue to do so. That's been it from myself, Vector, alongside me, Subzan. We had Sir Pegasus and Big Chebs on earlier as well. Thank you so much to them. And of course, Mauve in the background, our brilliant producer, has been here all night. And that's been it from us at the RSC EU Season 13 Premier Play-ins. We'll be back tomorrow with some more RSC action. Good night.